Well, hello. I am Jenny, and I am up in the White Mountains doing a little bit of a shakedown of sorts, testing out gear in extreme conditions. I'm bringing some gear I wouldn't bring on the Appalachian Trail, including snowshoes. We have gotten a fair amount of snow up here in the past, I don't know, week or two, and snow's pretty deep, and it's also very, very cold. It's, I think 7 degrees right now. Oh my gosh. I just took my glove off for a second so I could press the record button, and it was painful. My plan today is to do the sugar loaves. I believe it's north and middle sugar loaf. One of them is on 52 with a view. I think it's the middle one. And it is one that I still need for that list. So there's the gate off of 302 you would have come in on if this is open. And now we're gonna have to do a little bit of a road walk. There are a lot of people on the trails today. It's a Saturday, so I shouldn't be that surprised, but single digits. I thought I would be one of maybe 2 or 3 people out today, but I've seen a lot of large groups. I've also seen a lot of snowmobilers too. The reason why there's a road here is because this is actually a campground or a series of campgrounds or something like that, which is not open during the winter obviously, but normally you could drive through here and park at the end of the road where the trailhead actually starts. But due to winter closures, because they don't maintain this road in the winter, you end up having to do that extra walk. Today's trail soup is a spicy tomato. It's still hot. That's real good. So I didn't know this when I started, but there's a couple different types of snowshoes you can get. And the traditional kind of has like tubes sort of around the outside. And those are really great for like if it's the land's just flat or like gradual. But these, they have kind of some teeth on the sides that really like dig in, and they also have heel raises, so you take your handle and you can raise it like that, and what that does is it helps the inclines go a little easier, so you're not putting as much strain on your calves when you're going up. So that's a really nice feature to have. So if you're going up mountains, you want a kind like this, whereas the traditional kind are great for when it's just flat, because I think these ones tend to like dig in more into the snow, whereas you float on top with the other ones a little bit more. I'm really enjoying this winter wonderland and the fact that it's not just straight up immediately. I think I'm in the last little push up to the ridge, and then the rest of the way should be pretty smooth sailing, I'd say. Just made it to the intersection where it splits off from the trail. To left is Middle Tri-Pyramid, right is north. So I'm gonna hit up north first. I think I should have this summit to myself. Yeah, I don't think anyone's hiked through here today. I think these are from yesterday. I believe we are at the Thru summit. As you can see, not really a view up here. There are pathways along up here that I'm guessing leads to views, although looking at the sky, I'm not so sure we're going to be able to see anything. But I guess might as well check over there, see what I can see. Completely breaking out the trail now. Wow. This is different. Just completely unbroken snow on the summit. Staring at Middle Sugarloaf right in front of us, so we gotta get over there somehow. On a clear day, I think you could see North Twin out here, and maybe some of the southern presidentials. Gorgeous day though. Got the snow flurries coming down. I think I read somewhere that Sugarloaf is the most popular name for a mountain in New England or maybe the Northeast. I don't even know what a Sugarloaf is, but apparently mountains look like them. Maybe because the snow on the top looks like sugar on a loaf. It's Middle Sugarloaf time. Cool. That's a view. The magic of thermoses is you can be on top of a mountaintop in 5-degree temperatures with snow flurries coming down, and your soup is still hot. So I'm on my way down from the Sugar Loaves. I realized I forgot to talk about the other half of my plan today, which is I'm finally going to get out and camp and test out my 20-degree underquilt. So, my plan for that is I'm going to camp at Hammock Campground, which is one of the few year-round campgrounds in New Hampshire. And so I'll have my car there, and I have brought some extra stuff so that in case things are not warm enough or things don't go to plan, I have some extra stuff I can use to keep warm in the car. The next time you see me, I will be at camp, so I'll see you there. Got a nice fire going. Car's right there. I think I'm gonna probably set up my hammock over here. As you can see, it is already dark. Sunset's like 4:40-ish up here right now. And I think it's only like maybe 5:30. First thing I did when I got here was light the fire because it is cold. When I was in my car, I think it said 10 degrees, but it feels like it might be colder than that. And there's a breeze too, which doesn't really help. I've been on this kick lately where I've been trying to eat up all of my food that I have that's probably gonna go bad or may already be bad, I'm not sure. But I'm having this Thanksgiving dehydrated meal that I put together, I don't even know how long ago, at least a year. So I'm gonna see if it's still good. It looks really mushy. No. I'm still gonna eat as much of it as I can because it's hot and it's food. But it's not very good. So just wanted to show really quick what I have for kind of a backup. This is actually my 40-degree underquilt. So what I would do if I was too cold with the 20, I would just layer this with it, which would add extra warmth to my torso area. But I'm gonna try it without it at first and see how it goes. All right, so I've got my 20-degree underquilt on there. I realized I made a mistake when I custom ordered my underquilt because I made it the same exact color and fabric inside and out. So it's a bit harder to tell what side is the inner side and what side is the outer side. You have to actually look for the label, which is supposed to be at the head end and on the underside. So, or, you know, the part that's on the bottom. So it's kind of a pain. Hopefully it doesn't cause me too much of an issue when I'm on trail, but there it is. So then I will just zip this all up and I will have blockage from the wind and these little snow flurries. I'm thinking of not putting up my tarp tonight because I don't think these snow flurries are going to do much to get this wet or anything. So we'll see how it goes. We'll still got to put my top quilt in there, but I'm feeling hopeful about this. All right, top quilt's in here. So what I've done is I brought my 10-degree top quilt, which is the one that I will bring on the AT. If the 20-degree underquilt doesn't work out, I can always bring my 0-degree underquilt instead. So this is a test, see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, car's right over there. Well, it's 8:30. Fire's starting to die down and I have a little bit of wood left, but I want to save it for the morning. So I'm just going to let this burn down and then I'm going to go into my hammock because it's getting a little chilly and I really want to try out my quilt and see how that goes. So I've gotten ready for bed and just going to sit here until I get too cold to sit here. I just got in my hammock. It went up to 12. It was 11 in here. It is so cold. Oh, it's painful. All right, I gotta get warmed up. Got my heated socks. Putting these on now. I've got my Dutchwear Up booties over my heated socks. You're probably wondering what's with the heated socks. And no, they will not be coming with me on the AT, but I will have hot hands. So it's sort of the same thing. I'll put them between my socks and the booties. So to create the same sort of effect. The heated socks are a bit too heavy to bring, and it's another thing that you got to keep charged, so not really practical. But for this trip, might as well use the thing that I have and not use up a consumable item like the hot hands. Oh, I'm slowly getting warmed up. I'm still wearing all of my jackets, but at least I've got the bottom half of me is situated and is warming up inside my quilt. It is already showing 28 in here. That is a vast improvement already. Well, it's been about an hour since I got in my hammock, and it is a little bit cold on the bottom. I'm not quite ready to layer an additional quilt under there, but I did put my extra jackets underneath me, and that kind of helped. I also had to shift some of the quilt over a little bit because it was not completely covering underneath me. And after I did that, it helped a little bit. But I'm definitely stretching this 20-degree underquilt a little beyond its limits in this 10-degree weather. I was hoping that with the sock that I could stretch it a little bit more. I think that I could survive the night like this, but it's not quite as cozy as I'd like. Good morning. It's pretty freaking cold. Thermometer said it was 16 a second ago when I checked. There's a frost on my bug net. Okay, so results. My top quilt is awesome. The top of me was never cold. It's more the bottom, which makes sense because my underquilt isn't rated for these temperatures. I was able to stay warm enough at first. So a couple things I did. I laid on my coats and I migrated my down to like the cold areas. And that seemed to help. But toward the morning, temperatures seemed to drop even more. And even that, I was uncomfortable. So results of this test are, yes, I could probably survive the night in temperatures that are single digits to teens, but it is not going to be a comfortable night's sleep because I won't have the same gear that I have with me on this trip. I'm not going to have the same jackets, and I've got to really weigh out, you know, how many nights like this am I going to experience, and will it be worth it to carry the extra weight and bulk of a 0-degree quilt, or will I want to just try and get to a town in a hotel overnight if it really gets to be that cold. It is very cold, so I quickly packed up camp and I headed over to Blueberry Mountain North Trailhead. Couldn't do another 52 with the view, but man, it feels even colder than it was yesterday's. My car thermometer said it was 10 degrees, but there's clearly a breeze and the wind chill is making things feel worse. Got my snowshoes on again. I think this trail's probably gonna be pretty snowy. I'm a little less than halfway up to the top, and trail's been pretty gradual, fairly packed down with snowshoe tracks. It is very cold and windy though, so basically just trying to keep moving. I mentioned I'm doing Blueberry Mountain. There's a couple different trails for that one. The most commonly hiked one is the South Trailhead, but that one, the road to it is closed in the winter. So I'm actually doing the North Trailhead. And this hike, I think it said 5.5 miles, although I never really trust the numbers on all trails. And I definitely don't trust the signs, because the sign at the bottom said it was 2.2 to the summit. Pretty sure I've almost done 2.2 now, and I think I might be barely halfway. Alright, I think I've reached the true summit of Blueberry Mountain. A partial view through the trees. That's Moosalaka right in front of us. My hair is very frozen. I'm gonna head back down because it is cold. I'm tired and hungry, so ready to check this one off the list and go home. Lies. Finally made it down. I was kind of dragging toward the end there. Just kind of wanted to be done. Alright, made it to the car. So just to wrap up, some things that I learned from this trip. 20-degree quilt rating was more of a survival rating. I think it could still work as long as there's not too many nights below 20, but I don't know if the clothing that I would be bringing with me could handle much lower than 20 anyway. I had my full deep winter attire for this trip, which I would not bring on the AT because it would be way too much weight, and I was still cold. So just some things to think about. I learned some things about what the temperature that I'm willing to tolerate and how much of it I'm willing to tolerate. So I think going into the trail, I think that'll help me kind of prepare and make a backup plan for what I want to do. I'm gonna head home, get some much needed rest, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Happy trails.